And we are underway here in London. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he powers his way up past the 30. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. So, CD, this defense, they know that they have to be at their very best when they're taking on a team here that's in the midst of a winning streak that's now stretched over multiple months, not weeks, months.
I think the challenge they put upon themselves is we want to be the guys to end that streak. And what's working in their favor? The winning streak on the other side. Sometimes that carries a burden with it because they feel like they have to play perfectly as well. Let's just go out there and get them is the idea.
Things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
They'll run on first down. Stanford. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Back to throw. That's going to be caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. That one goes for 30 yards. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. What does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, it makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. A great play there with his 13th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Eagles get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. And that flag accepted. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They'll start on the ground with Pierce. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, Caldwell. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. He's really putting together a spectacular season. That interception, number 11 now on the year.
And I know we're all taught that 7 is a lucky number. I'd say 11 is for him, huh? No doubt about it.
Here we go.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Going up top. Touchdown! Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big streak like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. From his end zone, Wilson. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Operating from the gun, Caldwell. Quick throw, knocked away, and incomplete. Now, this defense for the Eagles, they were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
And he fires one that's intercepted. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And able to work his way down to the 16. Give him 8 yards. There's still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down and about the length of the football. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown, Eagles. Quez Watkins. His 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Eagles have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Elliott good with a PAT. And it's now 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. From his end zone, Wilson. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with it, but whatever's going to...
And now the ball's out, fumble near midfield. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. And so the last 3 drives, you've got 2 interceptions and a fumble. I think we know why they're losing right now.
Without question, and we've seen the evidence, just what you talked about there. If they take care of the football, number 1, maybe they're not having this deficit. And number 2, maybe they actually have the lead.
Down to the 42, 2nd down.
I feel like I can see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
On 2nd down, Stanford. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
That's going to be caught along the sideline, and what a job of keeping his feet in bounds. They say that's a catch. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28. Now a handoff up the middle. Stanford, and he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On 2nd down now, Stanford. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
And it's 3rd down.
On the set.
21-0 our score after one.
The score, Eagles 21, Bulldogs 0.
On the ready.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. So on comes the Eagle kicker, Jake Elliott, on 4th down. This is a 26-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good, and the route is on. It's 24-0. So they wind up turning the turnover into points as they convert there for 3.
Yeah, that was a nice job there to force the fumble. They recover, hand things over to their offense, and then the offense went down and got them 3. That alone, that's not enough to win a game, but both units able to do their jobs on these last 2 drives.
From his end zone, Wilson. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
In motion left here, one of their tight ends. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Caldwell. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. And the Eagles are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. Gain of just 1.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
And he'll get it down here to the 43. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Now, that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork and handling a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up 1st downs.
On the double.
And this one goes nowhere. On the play back at the 46.
Tackled back at the 46-yard line.
They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. They'll try the left side. Stanford trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
On 3rd down, Stanford. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be fourth down. The kick by Elliott is good, and the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. Well, they're able to come away with the interception, Charles. They aren't able to move the ball all that much. However, they do get 3 out of it with a field goal.
Yeah, and anytime you do force a turnover, you have to come out of it with points. Everybody wants 6. They'll take the 3 there. Now it's their opportunity to do it again.
They'll take over first down 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. On second down, here's Pierce. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
He's got a man complete. 20, 10, and touchdown. Drake London, 76 yards. And the Bulldogs get a bit closer. And now Lovie Smith sends the call out. They're going to go for 2 here. Here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And he'll get in. And they're going to draw themselves 2 points closer. So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes could prove risky there. It worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line.
The Eagles take over first and 10. At their own 24-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Derek Stingley picks it. And they will finally stop it, but a great return gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line. He's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not reign.
Touchdown! Dalton Schultz, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Bulldogs are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Extra point splits the uprights, and they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
He'll drop to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. On third down, he'll drop to throw. Going deep here for Watkins. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Up the middle they go. Stanford. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. On second down, Stanford. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. A big play forthcoming. Here's third and goal. They'll look to throw. Touchdown, Eagles. A great effort there as the first half is winding down. And the Eagles will extend their lead here just before halftime. Elliott good on the extra point, and that will make this a 19-point game. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. From his end zone, Wilson. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation, either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Eagles are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Well, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ballgame.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around?
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaunt, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. From his end zone, Wilson. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
At their own 18-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
That's good. 4-8.
First and 10, it's Pierce. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown! Dameon Pierce halfway to 100 now with career touchdown number 50. And the Bulldogs come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. Extra point right down the middle. And they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You can say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. Flushed out right. And he'll just get rid of it. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit. A lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
Escaping the pressure right. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 27 yards there, a 1st down.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
On 1st down, Stanford. And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. 51 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the headlinesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has, percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. And this is caught by Watkins. And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
Well, with a dime looked on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now a handoff up the middle. Stanford. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4.
Can we just take that run and turn it into a kind of a clip and save? Because that tells you everything you need to know about this drive. They've been moving the ball awfully well.
And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. He'll look to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd TD of the game and 18th of the year, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack the defense and take them out of the game.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
From his end zone, Wilson. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
On 1st and 10, Caldwell. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Jamel Dean. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
But based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up first and goal. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the year?
Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sack back around the 8. The sack will push him back only a couple yards, but certainly not what they were hoping for on first and goal. It's second and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. He'll look to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great effort there with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Eagles take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. Elliott good with a PAT, and that will bump the lead up to 26. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
From his end zone, Wilson. And he returns this to the 22.
They'll take over. First down and 10. At their own 22.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one.
And now here is another interception. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
The kick by Elliott is good. Well, Charles, the NFL record is 66 yards. That was 5 shy of that, but only a handful of guys have ever connected from 61 or deeper, and he can add his name to the list.
Yeah, more and more guys are trying it. That doesn't mean the success rate has gone up. That is a long kick. Guaranteed, when he turns on his phone after the game, a ton of congratulatory texts will be awaiting him.
At their own 29-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Now a throw here to his running back. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Working with a 2nd and 4.
Off play action. Caldwell. And my goodness, another interception.
It's Nakobe Dean with a pick. And the Eagles will take over possession here up at the 44.
Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37, gain of 9.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Stanford shoves him away.
And he'll get this just inside the 30-yard line.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
He was brought down at the 28-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it's third down.
Okay, ready?
The Eagles on third down. They've been really good, converting 7 of their 10 tries. This will be 3rd and 5.
Ready.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep.
And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17.
It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
Part of why that play works is because the defense has to freeze because they don't know whether he's going to hand it off or keep it himself. And this time, how about that sleight of hand there? Gives it to his wideout. And that indecision defensively, boy, it hurt him in a big way.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Well, Charles, they had the comfortable lead, and now it's even more comfortable. Another score here in the 4th quarter to grow that lead.
But I think your initial reaction is surprise when you see a team piling it on this late in the blowout. But there are plenty of coaches who also think that if you pull up completely and stop trying to play the game, it shows disrespect to their opponent. So they don't want to embarrass them. They continue to let their players go for it.
From his end zone, Wilson.
And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they are going to take possession of the football inside the 15 at the 14-yard line. They'll run on first down. Stanford. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12.
Jalen Petrie coming up to bring him down.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now a give, right side. Stanford. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
A 27-yard
The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. In motion, the tight end. Off the play fake. Caldwell. He's going to let it fly. And that's caught inside the 35. Now he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
First and 10 at the 28-yard line.
Give left side for Pierce.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Now here's a whistle as flags come in. And we'll check out the call. So from 2nd and 10, it'll now go to 2nd and 15.
A higher scoring game, Charles, than we typically see in the National Football League, but fun to watch these offenses. They were really clicking. It seemed like everything that they dialed up worked.
Yeah, it certainly was fun to watch from our perspective. How'd you like to be those defensive coaches, though? That wasn't a blast for them at all. And let's face it, they all game plan, they all scout, they all think they're prepared. But executing and stopping teams, that's another matter entirely.
So for Philadelphia,
they get yet another victory to finish the year at 14-3 overall.
And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for the Londoners,
the loss means they'll finish up the regular season at 10-7.
And it's going to be finger-crossing time as we await the final shakedown of this year's playoff picture.